Because Romeo and Juliet is written as a poem, there's a lot of figurative language inside of it. And last semester, we focused a lot on figurative language and figuring out different types of figurative language. We looked at examples and we really hit home last semester. But I know that it's hard to remember what happened in November. So we are going to just do a quick refresher, okay? On your Canvas page, you have a copy of the text from Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 3. This is when Romeo is talking to Friar Lawrence about his love for Juliet. And Friar Lawrence uses a lot of figurative language. In this passage, you can find an example of each one of these: imagery, hyperbole, allusion, metaphor, and personification. Your job is to use this chart and put that example from the text in here, and then write your own example. Show me that you really know what imagery is. Okay? So I'm going to just give you the quick definition, and here's an example from me to help you if you're struggling with it still. So imagery, think of image. Imagery is language that appeals to your senses, especially that of sight. You're creating an image, a picture in the reader's mind. So it was dark and dim in the forest. Close your eyes. Can you really see what kind of forest this is? It's a dark, dim forest. Okay, imagery uses really descriptive language, things that you can really see in your mind. Think of Mercutio's Queen Mab speech. That uses a lot of imagery. It really described what the fairy would look like, and you guys were able to draw a picture from it because it was so descriptive. A hyperbole is a figure of speech that uses an exaggeration and makes things big and excessive, too much, things that are clearly not possible, right? This expresses a strong feeling. He's running faster than the wind. Can someone really run as fast as the wind? No. The wind can go, 20 or 30 miles an hour, and we can't run that fast. So that's an exaggeration to just show that he's running really quickly. Or if you say, I have a million things to do. You don't have a million things to do, but you might have a lot of things to do, and a million, an exaggeration, really shows that you are expressing that strong feeling. An allusion is kind of tough because if they're referencing something that you don't know about, then it's hard to pick out an allusion. An allusion is referring to another story or historical time or a person or an event. And sometimes authors do this to draw on the audience's previous experiences. So it kind of helps compare. So this one says, she acts like a Scrooge with her money. Well, if you are a fan of The Christmas Carol, you'll know that Scrooge did not give his money out at all. He was very greedy with his money. So this tells us that this person is greedy with her money. A lot of times in classic literature like Romeo and Juliet, the author, William Shakespeare, will allude to a Bible story or a Bible verse. And so that's why sometimes it might be hard if you're not familiar with those to pick it out. So just do your best to come up with that. A metaphor compares two things by saying one thing is another. This is not a simile. Remember, a simile uses like or as, but a metaphor does not. A metaphor says one thing is another. The classroom was a zoo. I'm not saying that it was like a zoo. I'm saying it was a zoo. That means it was crazy, right? One thing is or was another. And finally, personification. This is where we are giving those human qualities to something that's not alive. So lightning danced across the sky. Can lightning really dance? No, but if it danced across the sky, that tells me as the reader that it was all over the sky, that it wasn't just in one spot. Okay? So again, your job is to try to find an example from the text, do your very best, and then come up with your own example. Show me that you really understand what these things are. Let me know if you need any help. Remember, the example from the text can be found back on your Canvas page. Okay?